Hello, so today I will be demonstrating how to use EFT tapping, also known as the emotional freedom technique. Tapping is a really helpful modality. It can be used for a variety of things. It can help clear negative thoughts, changing limiting beliefs, toning down intense emotions, fears and phobias, cravings, a lot of things. It helps us when we feel triggered, to kind of bring down the emotions so that we can assess and see the situation more clearly. So the person who founded EFT had a belief that unresolved negative emotions can disrupt the energy in the body. We know that our minds and bodies are connected. When you see a scary movie, you might get sweaty palms or feel your heart racing. Or if you think of, eating your favorite food, maybe your mouth waters a little bit. So we know that our mind and body are connected. And they're connected via this energy that goes from the mind into the body and vice versa. So in Chinese medicine, this energy is actually called qi. And the belief is that there are different energy meridians that run all along the body, and they carry qi or life force energy throughout the entire body. And what can happen is if we have some negative emotions, they can actually cause the qi to get stuck in different places in the body. And so negative events, negative emotions, trauma can all disrupt the energy system in the body. And clearing the disruptions of energy in the body can help the energy to flow more freely and promote health and well-being and actually free up the mind to do what it wants instead of being triggered. So in EFT, what we're doing is we're using the concept of the energy meridians that go throughout the body and the concept that negative emotions or trauma can disrupt the energy flow to release the energy blockages and help everything flow more ideally. So how do we do it? So the way to use EFT is as follows. First, you will choose an issue that you would like to work on. It could be a physical issue, it could be an emotional issue. Maybe you're having an argument with someone that you love and you feel like you got really heated, but kind of part of you feels like, why am I so mad? Like, I don't really know, it could be that you're triggered from something that was said or done. And so tapping can be really helpful in that situation. With that said, let's get started. So first you'll choose your issue or the emotion that has been kind of coming up for you. And you'll want to give it a rating of intensity from 0 to 10, with 10 being the most intense that you feel it, or feeling very in distress. And so, for example, we could use like, I'm feeling angry at my sister, right? She did something and made me really mad. I'm feeling super angry. My anger is at like a 9 out of 10, right? Okay. So let's get started. So I would identify the issue is feeling angry with my sister. The intensity is a 9 out of 10. So let's start tapping and see if we can get that down. So first we'll start by rubbing the tender spots, which are just slightly below the sternum. We'll begin rubbing them in a circular motion, and we say the setup phrase, which is, even though and then you'll insert your issue. So even though I feel angry at my sister, even though it can be anything. Even though I'm worried about something, even though I have pain, even though I, whatever it is. And then, so you'll say, even though for me, feeling angry at my sister, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And we'll do this 3 times. So even though I have anger towards my sister, whatever your issue is, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. One last time. Even though I'm feeling, insert, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you want to shake it out a little bit. Good, you're doing a great job. So next, we will begin the tapping sequence. So there are 10 points total that you'll be tapping. And while you're doing the tapping of each point, you will want to say a reminder phrase so you remember the issue and think about the issue that you're working on. So I will be using the reminder phrase, even though I'm feeling mad at my sister. And we're going to do the tapping. They're sometimes called rounds of tapping. We'll be doing it maybe 5 times, maybe a few more, and just repeating that reminder phrase aloud. And the sides of the body don't matter because they're kind of like, they're the same. So you can pick whichever side feels more comfortable. So we'll start at the front of the inner eyebrow, tapping. And it can be helpful, some people tap 2 fingers, some people tap 3 fingers, some people tap 1 finger, whichever is most comfortable for you. So we'll begin tapping and saying, even though I feel this anger, or whatever your issue is, And then, even though I feel this anger, so we're tapping on the outside of the eyebrow. Even though I feel this anger, we're going to be tapping our cheekbone. Next is the upper lip area. Even though I feel this anger, or whatever your issue is, you'll be repeating that. Chin, even though I feel this anger. The inner part of the collarbone, even though I feel this anger. So for the next point, we're gonna, go under the armpit, and it's about 4 fingers down. So you'll go underneath the 4 fingers, even though I feel this anger. And then the next part is just here on the ribs, kind of in the middle, even though I feel this anger. Then you'll tap all across the wrist, even though I feel this anger. Then you'll do the top of the head, even though I feel this anger. And then at the end, you can grab your wrist with your middle fingers, I guess, and breathe in. And as you exhale, say the word peace. Peace. So all of that right there, the 10 points, is what we kind of call a round of tapping. So you'll go ahead and do that a few times. You can do it 2 to 3 times, or however much, you have time for. And when you're done doing it, the whole round of all the points 2 or 3 times, what you'll do is you'll reassess what level of intensity that emotion or feeling is at. So tune in again to the issue. Before it was a 9 out of 10. Maybe now it's like a 5 or 6 out of 10, right? And so when we're tuning into the issue again, we're going to bring up the initial feeling, because we want to bring up anything else that's residual there in order to clear it out. So we'll continue. If it's above 0, we'll continue with the tapping sequence. And we want to try to get the intensity to a 5 or below, if possible. But any lessening of intensity is really just going to be helpful at this point. So after we've done the tapping again, if needed, once the intensity is at a 5 or below, we're going to change our setup statement to an affirmation and rub the tender sternum points again. So we'll say, even though I still have some remaining, and then whatever the issue is, anger, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have some remaining anger, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. We're doing this 3 times. Even though I have some remaining anger, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then we can continue with the tapping again in the sequence. So even though I have remaining anger, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. We can begin by saying affirmations. I choose to be kind to myself. I choose to be understanding of myself. I choose to show myself compassion in this experience. I choose to love myself. I choose to listen to my needs and wants. I choose to let go. I choose to forgive myself. Whatever, other affirmations might come to your mind, or you could simply just keep repeating, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Doing the tapping. Lastly, we'll pinch the fingers together, hold the wrist, take a deep breath in. Say the word peace. Peace. On the exhale. And then check in again. How much anger am I feeling? How much of the feeling am I feeling? What's the intensity from 0 to 10? If the intensity is not yet at a 0, you can continue to do the tapping of all the points. So once the intensity is at a 0, we're going to do something called the 9 gamut procedure. And this just locks in the positives and the processing and the understanding into the brain. And it kind of integrates both sides of the brain to bring in this new, lock in this new feeling of feeling more calm and understanding of what's going on and everything. The way the 9-gamut procedure works is that you will begin by tapping in between the pinky and the ring finger, 1 inch towards the wrist. This is called the gamut point, and you will focus your eyes forward, and then close the eyes, open the eyes, and you can say any remaining anger or your issue there if you like. Then you will hold your head steady and point your eyes hard down into the right, and then bring your eyes back to center, and then point your eyes hard down to the left, and then bring them back to center. And then with your eyes open, you're gonna roll them in a circle in one direction, and then come to the center, so like this. And then you're gonna roll them in the other direction and come to center. And then you're gonna hum 2 seconds of your favorite song. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 really fast. And then you're gonna hum 2 more seconds. You can also use happy birthday, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. You've done your tapping rounds. Test your results, see if you think about the issue, how you're feeling about it. And if there's any remaining emotion, you can continue tapping until you can get it down to 0. If you have any questions or comments or would like some additional help, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.